Welcome to another week of Science Communications. This week, I want to spend some time exploring a couple of issues that'll help set the stage for the rest of our discussions this semester. I would like to talk about what is science and research. And research, I think about as falling into a couple different areas. So, research being broadly studying, exploring, having a question, something that you want to learn more about, and then going about finding the information that you need to help answer that question. Research often falls into four different divisions, one being the social sciences. This includes areas such as psychology, economics, um, then we have the more biological sciences. These often are in the medical field. They may need, for example, stem cell, neurobiology. Um, then we have the physical sciences, and these primarily include fields involving engineering. They deal with chemicals, chemistry, and then, this may surprise you, but I love to talk about it, the arts and humanities. And so, for example, if someone's writing a book about a topic, they are doing research, just as you have anytime you've had to write a research paper for a class. They are looking for stories, they are creating citations, but they're trying to answer a question, solve a mystery, and then going about finding the information they need to do that. With the arts, I also think it's interesting to think about things such as kinesiology, which is the study of movement. And so, very clearly, if you are involved in dance, you are engaging in kinesiology. Another thing that's important to think about is science research and how it is conducted. And there are many ways that we can gather information. And then finally, I would like to introduce you to a few common research terms. So, how is research conducted? Well, I think a lot of people think about the labs, the beakers, the Bunsen burners, the typical researcher in a lab coat. But research, that's just a part of it. And absolutely, what happens in labs is constituting research. But some other ways to think about it include going out in the public, interviewing people, conducting case studies, doing field work. You can think about going to the Northwest and studying the spotted owls and collecting audio recordings of owl sounds, which is a really interesting project done by someone at UW Madison. So, research can involve travel, it can involve going to interesting countries, learning about new cultures, but it can be getting out of the lab. Research also involves the libraries, and many institutes of higher education will have a subject librarian to help support their researchers. So, conducting those reviews of journals, so previously published articles, helping people review old photographs, old video footage. And then you can think about things that you can even do online, something called crowdsourcing. So, asking questions of people on social media to try to get different answers. So, this week I will be sharing with you a variety of research methods. And then it's also really important for us to be considering the terms we're using because, really, in science communications, isn't that one of the biggest problems? Is that we have a difficult time communicating with the public because we may be using words that haven't been defined for them that they are not used to using. And so I will be introducing you to such terms as applied and basic research gathering that data, applied research, helping come up with therapeutics, treatments, applying that information to actually have a solution for a problem. The interesting thing as I work with researchers is trying to help people who are conducting basic research explain to the public why their research is important. And an example that I like to share is a lot of people ask, how are we able to come up with COVID-19 vaccines so quickly when it took a very long time previously to come up with vaccines for various diseases and pathogens. And part of that is that basic research that is happening on a daily basis in labs and in the field, and so that we are better prepared when something happens, that we can respond more quickly. So I think they're both very important. They are different, and they both need to be communicated carefully. There are a lot of terms. I will be sharing a glossary. I don't expect you to know everything, but I do want you to really think about, if you don't understand what something means, you don't know the definition, how can you explain that to someone else? And so it's our job as science communicators to challenge ourselves, to get to learn more about these terms, and how we might best be able to translate that for the public. And it may be presenting an example, showing a photo. Um, so then I also will be offering you a toolkit, a resource on communicating about science to non-scientist audiences. And again, I think this is going to be one of our challenges throughout the semester. Think of, how do you develop an effective graphic, PowerPoint slides, social media messages. Maybe telling a story using a video or a photo is very impactful. So those are some of our topics this week. They will help set the stage for moving forward as we start talking about our assignments for the semester and how we present information.